Welcome again to the Winners Rebooted, where we're going back to the old days, about 30 years ago, when football was different then, and the Winners program used to run for about 10 years on the ABC. I hosted a lot, Tim Lane hosted other times, Gareth Andrews was a host. And I reckon my favourite day at the football of all time was in 1982, when a pair of brothers lobbed from Western Australia and played their second ever game for the Kangaroos. It was my first look at them. All the talk was about them, but when they played this day, did they turn it on? And I'm pleased to say that they're on the show together tonight. Jim and Phil Krakouer, welcome to the Winners Rebooted.
Yeah, thanks very much, Drew.
Thank you very much, Drew. It's a pleasure to be here.
Honestly, my heart is beating because that day it just absolutely energised me and it energised the whole football fraternity. Were you playing like that when you were playing in the Waffle for Claremont?
Yeah, started. We had a pretty good side over there at Claremont. 81, we won the grand final and pretty star-studded side. So, yeah, we had a pretty good career there.
So how come you went to North Melbourne? Did every club chase you, or what was the deal?
I think back then, Drew, there's probably just the two clubs. Well, I want to say just the two. There was two clubs. Geelong was fairly interested, and of course North Melbourne. And so it came down to either Geelong or North Melbourne at that stage. And
North had a lot of West Aussies playing there. Ross Glendinning was there, Peter Spencer. Half the team were West Aussies, so you would have felt pretty comfortable moving in there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there's heaps of players, you know, that we played against over in the west there, and Barry Cable came as a coach, so that probably had a bit of influence too. But with the Geelong, the contracts were pretty similar, but Geelong's one were match performance, and the Kangas were guaranteed. So, not knowing, you know, how good you were, if you were going to be successful or not, so you'd have to take the guarantee.
The guarantee.
Yeah.
If you'd known, Jim, you might have taken the performance. Because honestly, your performances over a lot of years were just absolutely phenomenal. Without further ado, I'm going to get to it because I just hope that the audience is just going to sit back and lap this up like I'm going to, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too, because over the years you haven't seen much of your old vision, have you?
No, not really. We probably this would be about the third time I'd say we've been together in, you know, like the public or the media sort of, you know, setting. So we very rarely get together and do this sort of stuff.
Well, I feel privileged to have you here, and it's going to be fantastic. The game we're going to show, Arden Street, it was round 2, and they played South Melbourne, who were sort of mixing their games between Melbourne and Sydney. They were the Sydney Swans when they went up there, and South Melbourne when they played in Melbourne grounds. This is Arden Street, couple of minutes in, sit back and enjoy. The Crackers turning it on for the Kangaroos against the Swans.
13 minutes first quarter, 21 points to 8 as the ball is thumped up towards the forward line by Hodgman. A long hand pass comes over towards Jim Krakouer. Steady, shoots for goals, and it's good!
Andrew Demetrio from right half back up to centre wing. In front, McCann slips through his hands. Phil Krakouer at the back with Browning. Krakouer possession, tackle, held when not in possession, was the umpire. Free kick to Phil Krakouer.
There's a bad tackle. Ridden into the ground, and here comes Phil Krakouer. He's too far out to score. Great looking pass to Blight. He had to went underneath it, and Round once again there to assist his fullback takes a telling mark.
Gee, what a good mark that was. Out towards the half-back flank. Oh, fans for Jim Krakouer across to Demetrio. He's back up towards North Melbourne's forward pocket. Barry Round, beautiful play across towards Ackley. Grabbed, the umpire should have free kicked him for holding the ball, I thought, but now it's across the line. It'll be a throw-in, and there's only 8 points of difference in favour of South Melbourne.
McCann and Round. McCann to the back. Chance for Tanner. Comes to Jim Krakouer. Wide out in the forward pocket. Snap for goal is a good kick. What a goal by Jim Krakouer. His second and North Melbourne's second, or third.
And a great piece of play by Carter against hot opposition. His kick is wide to the flank. Barry Round trying to get us, taken away by Rhys Jones, came across to Stevie Wright. Oh, good play, Krakouer, over to his brother, Jimmy. Foot football from the Krakouer brothers.
Well, Jim set it up and Phil kicked it.
picked up by Abernethy. Down it goes to half-forward line. An awkward bounce. Good punch that time by Tony Danaher. Dempsey thumps it out. Young Jimmy Krakouer again. Back it goes towards Blight and Carter. Blight wins the battle and puts it through. Beautiful football, North Melbourne.
Could have done it a few seconds earlier. There's a stack of players there. By gee, there should be a check of the players inside that. Oh, it's not a square, is it? Because it wasn't a goal. There's a good knock by Dempsey, but a chance for Lorwood, who is hammered into the back. The umpire said it's okay, and coming out with the ball is Rhys Jones. Drives toward a lead from the half-forward flank. Trying to mark it. One hand was Dennis Carroll, not good enough. Oh, beautiful play, Greg. Out to Law. Hammers his way through the pack, up towards centre half-forward. And a mark at Cracker!
Dempsey down to Hodgman, centering kick. And Jimmy Krakouer marks on his chest. He's kicked 2 goals, set up one for his brother Phil, and a chance for Jim Krakouer to kick his 3rd goal with his 7th kick in the opening quarter. And he made his VFL debut last week with 4 goals. Krakouer right in front, 35 metres, never in doubt.
Welcome back to the Winners Rebooted with Jim and Phil Krakouer as our special guests in the studio. For a while I thought we'd put on the wrong tape because the Swans were killing you early, but you came with 3 goals before quarter time, Jim.
Yeah, no, the Swans, they were a bit dominant early in the game. Yeah, and late in the quarter, the Kangas got going again, yeah.
Well, who were you playing on? Because that last mark and goal, there was nobody else in the shot.
Dave Ackley was a back pocket player, and he was a good player too. He finished up coming to Kangas, and we were good teammates, so yeah, I probably just read the ball a bit sooner off the boot, I guess.
Now, we saw the tap on and you tapped it to Phil, who scored the goal. We're going to see it later as well in the program. People talked about you had radar vision between you. Was that true? Did you know where each of you were going all the time?
Yeah. I think at time, like you've probably done it so many times in the game, and the one time or 2 times it actually came off. It probably looked all right, but
Look all right.
It did look all right, did it?
Yeah.
And plus, you know, like obviously we grew up together as brothers, and we, you know, you develop a close bond. You trust and you believe in each other, and that flowed on with your football.
It sure did. And you put it out there for the whole of the Australian sporting public to see it, and it was great. Let's get back to the game now and more of the Krakouer brothers as the Kangaroos are taking on South Melbourne.
It's on the half-forward flank for North Melbourne. And the breeze is certainly in their favour. Well, not a very good bounce. Bad one, as a matter of fact. And it's gone out here towards the forward pocket. Krakouer, and that was Phil. Right up towards the forward line to his brother. Jimmy Krakouer, shot for goal. And what a magnificent piece of football. Once more from the Krakouer brothers. And it should be a goal. And it is.
They've definitely got radar between them. There they are. They're walking back together. Big Demps. Big Roundy, of course, it bounces straight towards Round. A good leap that time by... Oh, here comes Krakouer again. Out to brother Phil. Beautifully back to Tanner. Cleverly across to Good. And he fumbles. Spoilt the play of the day. Good gets it out wide, but the umpire's whistle is gone. And the free kick, or is it going to be a bounce? But that really spoilt the play of the day. And it's going to be bounced with North Melbourne in attack. Browning goes for it, out wide, Phil Krakouer. Left foot shot for goal is off direction. And it's out of bounds. No, it's through for one behind. There's a free kick being played. It's Dents taking it. From behind, Good. Ooh, Jimmy Krakouer to Phil. Long one out, brilliantly there to Spencer. Spencer shoots for goal, and the Krakouers have done it again. They are really remarkable team players and beautifully finished off as North Melbourne have done it all day.
Glendinning, hand pass, straight out here towards Hodgman. Down she goes towards centre half forward. Over the top of the pack there was Carter, but that's no good. It's a chance. Tanner.
Goal again. Phil Krakouer started all again.
Well, North Melbourne led by only 10 points at half-time, but kicked 10 goals to 1 in the third quarter to open up a lead of 67 points. Their eventual winning margin, 40 points over South Melbourne, and 24-13 in windy conditions. Excellent kicking by North Melbourne.
It was phenomenal. 7 goals between you. The Krakouer brothers are in the studio with us. But how many assists?
Yeah, gifted, I guess, is, you know, everyone's got gifts of something, some sort. So, you know, ours were footy and we, you know, did okay out of it.
You did. Now, your coach that year was Barry Cable, who came back and took over from Malcolm Blight, who'd been the coach the year before. But Barry Cable himself was one of the great handballers of all time. And I had the thrill to interview him in the rooms after the game about the performance of you two that day.
They're very skillful players. They don't make many mistakes, which is really the hallmark of a champion. You don't make too many mistakes, they don't. They're very good round goals. They can do a lot more work yet basically around the ground, and I'm sure that they'll do all of that. And once they really put that part of their game together, they're really going to trouble some sides.
What, was you still finding fault in you? Once you put that part of your game together, you're going to trouble people.
I think he was pretty much spot on. Cabes was a bit of like a perfectionist.
He's a hard marker.
Oh, very, very hard, and you know, and that's probably why, you know, like we just felt that each week we had to go out and get better and better.
Well, you got better and better, and your careers were absolutely fantastic. It was a thrill a minute for me, and it's just a thrill to be sitting alongside you in the studio here tonight. Thanks very much for coming in. Will you stay with us while we show our next game?
Absolutely. First of all, I'd like to say, Drew, on behalf of when I grew up as a kid, how much I really loved watching the Winners.
Did you?
And it certainly inspired me to go, you know, along and want to play football. I never ever thought that I'd, you know, go on and play AFL football or VFL football at the time, but it just inspired me to go on and become a good country footballer. So to the Winners, thank you very much.
Good on you, Phil. That's fantastic. Great to hear. All right, coming up shortly, Carlton, the big guns, the reigning premiers taking on Essendon.